Good morning and welcome to Hastings, Nebraska, side of the Heartland Holiday Hoops Classic. I'm Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis. John, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. You know, it's a great time of the year. Basketball season, obviously, getting underway for a couple weeks now. We have some really great early season matchups where teams can really get a feel of where they are, I think, early in the season, and I think that's the beauty of what we're going to see here today.
Well, we got 7 matches. The first one for you guys is Kearney Catholic and the Stars taking on the Sandy Creek Cougars. The Cougars enter this match 2-4, but let's look at those Stars entering at 2-3. John, what do you know?
Well, for Kearney Catholic, so far in the season, you mentioned 2-3, but they've been getting better so far as the season has gone on. They've won 2 of their last 3. Now, they are coming off a 55-44 loss yesterday to McCook. A very good team, but this is a team, and we'll see this with both these teams, they don't score a whole lot. They're averaging 38 points per game. They're giving up 39 points per game. This is a team that plays good defense. They shoot threes, so when those go in, obviously they're going to have success, but when they don't, they're not able to score a whole lot, and I think that's really what you're going to see with both of these teams.
Well, Kearney Catholic in Max Rep's history has never lost to Sandy Creek. They last played in 2013. Sandy Creek enters 2-4, coached by Cole Wiseman. What do you know?
For them, again, 38 points per game. They're giving up a little bit more at 45 points per game, but they, again, have won 2 of their last 3. Their one loss in their last 3 games was to a really tough Holdridge team who is really good this year, 65-37, but they're coming off a win yesterday, 43-37. They got some playmakers. You're going to want to look out for Ethan Shaw, who's averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds per contest. This is a Sandy Creek team, again, that record-wise isn't quite there, but they're getting better so far as the season's going on.
As Columbus's head coach says, it's all about getting 1% better each time out, and both these teams have been doing that so far. But it's almost time to go down for national anthem and for player intros.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lynn Farrell Arena at the Osborne Family Sports Complex for game number 1 of the Heartland Holiday Hoops Classic. This game features the Stars of Kearney Catholic High School and the Cougars of Sandy Creek High School. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we do ask you all to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now let's get the starting lineup for this morning's game. First for the Stars of Kearney Catholic, a 6'2" sophomore, number 0, Owen Axman. A 6-foot junior, number 1, Carson Murphy. A 6-foot junior, number 3, Brant Christner. A 6-foot senior, number 24, Landon Edil. And a 6'3" senior, number 34, Quentin Hoagland. The head coach for the Stars is Bob Langen. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Cougars of Sandy Creek High School. A 5'9" senior, number 3, Kate Clark. A 5'11" sophomore, number 11, Ethan Shaw. A 6-foot sophomore, number 13, Jacob Peter. A 5'10" senior, number 31, Drake Molly. And a 6'2" sophomore, number 33, Jack Clark. The head coach for the Cougars is Cole Weisman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play basketball.
All right, let's play some basketball here in Hastings. Here's a tip, won by Kearney Catholic. They'll start off with the ball this afternoon. A deal with the ball up top. He's going to move it right. Screen off and pass to Krishner. Standing up top. I'm not used to this. I call a lot of Class A games where we got the shot clock this year, and none of that so far because neither of these teams are Class A. All right, move it left. Down low, driving in is Murphy, kicks out. A deal with the three, just going to go off the rim.
Again, that's what you're going to see a lot. They're going to attempt a lot of threes, and, more often than not, historically, Kearney Catholic has had them go down. They haven't gone down as much this season, again, only averaging 38 points per game, but this is a team that if they can get those threes to start falling, they're going to have some success.
All right, Clark on the right side, pass up top. Not going to find anything so far, as the Cougars are trying to get on the board first. Ball's moved to Caden Clark, the senior guard. Up top again. It's Ethan Shaw standing up there, not finding any holes to attack the Stars defense. Cross court pass to Clark on the left side. Nearly picked off by the Stars and Owen Axman.
It's some nice defense so far from Kearney Catholic. You mentioned not the shot clock, and so you see Sandy Creek taking a long offensive possession, and that's what you can do at some of these lower levels. You can take your time trying to find what you want to find.
Yeah, I think Freeman scored all of 30 against Auburn the other night and still won. Great defense here by the Stars as we open up. We've gone nearly 2 minutes and only 2 possessions into the game. Caden Clark standing on the right side. Still can't find any open outlets. He drives in. Looked like he was going to kick out, but he lost his dribble. And now Ethan Shaw, the man who has scored 15 points per game for the Creek. He's going to take a shot, and it will be in for the first points of the game.
And I think getting the first points of the game is big, and of course you're going to see it from Ethan Shaw, who's been fantastic all season, averaging 15 points per game. But that was a long offensive possession, results in 2 points. That's what you got to do.
Wide open lane to the bucket for Owen Axman. He ties this game up at 2 with 5:26 to go. And now it's going to be Shaw trying to face off against the press. Stars press is doing wonders here, making it really tough, and it's going to be deflected out of bounds by Carson Murphy, and it'll stay with the Cougars.
It's just heads up play by Murphy, though, as they were trying to find Jack Clark wide open in the right corner, but he was just able to tip it out of bounds, kind of slow things down after they were trying to work pretty quickly up the floor.
Jack Clark moves it into Shaw. Shaw facing it against that Stars defense, not letting anything through that middle. And they're going to keep working that ball around, switching it sides, flipping around. And it's going to be stolen by Kearney Catholic and Quentin Hoagland. He passes up again to Murphy, and it's going to go out off the rim, and the Cougars will get back on offense.
Just an easy turnover to pick up, but unfortunately for Kearney Catholic, they weren't able to take advantage on the fast break.
Yeah, the Stars defense has looked impeccable so far, and it's going to be Caden Clark fouled as he goes up to the basket.
That's what you got to do. You got to be aggressive in the paint. None of these teams are very tall on the floor, and so if you just drive in, get some contact, you don't necessarily have to score each time, but you can get to the line, give yourself an opportunity at the free throw line with Caden Clark, who's a pretty good free throw shooter at 71%, and I say that and he misses it, so my apologies to Caden.
Nice job, John. Way to start this game strong.
Oh, no.
Owen Axman was the star who picked up the foul, as Clark will attempt his second free throw, game tied at 2, just about halfway through, and it will remain tied at 2 as Caden Clark misses both of his free throws. John, you had the double jinx.
Yeah, I apologize to Caden. That was all my fault.
There's a deal at the top. He fires a 3, and the Stars take the lead.
And getting him going is going to be big. We saw him miss his first three, but then he knocks down his second. If he gets hot, Sandy Creek could be in trouble because when he does, it's a team that can have a lot of success.
Foul's going to be called on Brent Christner. And Kearney Catholic has 2 fouls so far halfway through this first quarter. And now the Cougars will look to rebound down 3.
And that can sometimes be why playing so aggressive can hurt at times, but more often than not, it's probably going to help.
Shaw with a 3 from the left side. He has all 5 points for the Cougars, and we're tied up at 5.
Yeah, nice start for Ethan Shaw. I mentioned in the pregame he's going to be the one to watch offensively, and we're seeing why here early on.
It's going to be Shaw versus Adil all day long, and so it's going to be a really great matchup. Both these teams looking to get closer to 500 on the season. Ball moves inside to Hoagland. The foul's going to be called on Sandy Creek first, and it's going to be on Caden Clark.
I think Quentin Hoagland is going to be a key player to watch. I mentioned not a lot of size. He's one of the taller players on the floor at 6'3". I think watching him in the paint is going to be key for Kearney Catholic today. Again, teams that shoot a lot of threes don't have a lot of size, so that one big man can make a difference.
And from what games are in Max Stripes, he has 4 rebounds a game. Here he is attacking the boards right now. His shot will go out, will not go in, and the Sandy Creek Cougars take the ball. There's it right to Pavalny. Swings it left. Now Caden Clark again at the top. He's been instrumental in getting things started for the Cougars offense so far against a stingy Stars defense.
Yeah, go ahead. That's the 3. I was going to say, they're playing really well, especially in the paint. You see Sandy Creek, they're trying to move it inside, but Kearney Catholic is not letting that happen, and so they're having to attempt threes, and so far the 3 is not going in.
Drake Lawley picks up that foul. It was a shot from Pavalny that didn't go in for the Cougars, as now the Stars take back over. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, all knotted up at 5. Ball moves left to Adil, and he's in again. Time out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back. Kearney Catholic leads Sandy Creek 8-5.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
Welcome back to Lynn Farrell Arena in Hastings, Nebraska. It's home of the Holiday Hoops Classic of 2022. Sandy Creek and Kearney Catholic at it here in our first game of 7 today. Thank you guys all for watching. It's been the Adil and Shaw show so far from Hastings. Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis. Creek nearly gets trapped right along the half-court line. This Kearney Catholic defense has been tough to stop, John.
Yeah, they have, and I mentioned they're guarding the paint really well. You know, Sandy Creek does like to shoot threes, but you can see they're trying to find something inside with their offensive set pieces. They're just not able to, because they're guarding the paint really well. You usually see 3 guys mixed up in the paint, not letting anything get in.
Foul, I believe, will be on Landon Adil, and it is. He has 6 points on the game so far, so don't want to get him in foul trouble. But like you mentioned, they're trying to attack that paint, and I know it's a lot of what Columbus likes to do. They like to drive and kick and get that open 3, but they aren't finding that avenue so far.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned it, because that gives you abilities to get open shots from outside the arc, and they're just not able to find anything in the post.
Drive in from Pavalny. That's going to be kicked back out. There's that first kick out that we mentioned. That's what Sandy Creek has been trying to do. Can't find anything off of it, but eventually they'll open up opportunities just like this one from Caden Clark. His 3 will go off the backboard.
I thought that was the best they've moved the ball so far. Unfortunately, the shot just could not fall for Sandy Creek.
Ball moves right here for the Stars. They swing it all the way around, and will be driven in by Christner before he is fouled on the floor.
A lot of fouls here early in this one. This could be a game with how physical both of these two teams play, that there could be a good amount of fouls in the contest between these two.
And we're just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Caden Clark already has 2 fouls. That's going to be instrumental for Sandy Creek to keep him in the game, so don't want to get him in foul trouble. Top of the key is Axman. He moves it right to Christner. Driving kick. Adil's not in the game right now for the Stars, so going to have to find a different way to produce some points.
Yeah, he's got 6 of their 8, so they gotta find something here.
3 taken by Christner, and it is good. You mentioned they got to find something. Well, they found something. They have a 6-point lead over the Cougars.
Yep, finding that second guy who can knock down open shots, that's going to be the key for Kearney Catholic, not just today, but all season.
Nearly a turnover there from the Cougars. Ball swings around to the left with Pavalny. He doesn't really know what to do with the ball. He's just kind of standing there, eventually gets it to Shaw. Now Shaw will recenter the ball with just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Cougars down 6, trying to find something.
And again, Shaw, all 5 of his team's points. There's, again, for Sandy Creek as well, they got to find somebody other than Shaw who can get something going offensively for the Cougars.
Looking in that key, I was like, he's wide open to the left. They finally find him, and now they move it right. Pavalny throws up a shot, but yeah, there's a double dribble there, and he'll turn over the ball.
I like what he was trying to do. I think he just kind of lost the ball a little bit, but it was a nice shot. It ended up going in at the end, but fortunately just a double dribble for him.
Pavalny found that empty gap, drove in there, but unfortunately turned over the ball in the process. Christner now attacking Sandy Creek, loses the ball, and it's going to be ending up in Pavalny's hands, and he's going to hold back, and I think they'll hold for 1 shot perhaps.
Yeah, and you feel like if they can knock this down, it hasn't necessarily been their quarter, but if they can cut this to a 3-4 point game, still feel pretty good about yourself, even though, you know, it hasn't been your best quarter of the season.
When you don't play A ball, I've always heard the key is to only allow 10-point quarters, and they've done pretty much that. They just got to find that offense on the side and get past those Stars. Foul's going to be on Brant Christner, also his second, so a player on each team has 2 fouls in the first quarter alone.
Yeah, total of 7 fouls between the 2 teams so far. That's going to be something to watch for as this game continues on.
4.8 seconds to go for the Sandy Creek Cougars, trying to find 1 more basket before the end of the quarter. They're down 6, passes it out to Lawley, moves it right, and it's going to be Lawley putting up a shot, and it's off the backboard and in. 11-7, Stars lead, but Lawley cuts it down at the buzzer. And we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back for the second quarter on Shrive TV.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
This Strive Sports production is brought to you by Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning, Rivals Sports Bar and Grill, and by Pinnacle Bank. We couldn't do it without your support.
Welcome back here to Hastings College and Lynn Farrell Arena. Kearney Catholic currently leading Sandy Creek 11-7 after the first quarter of play. That's the first of 7 matches we got on tap for you guys today. Minden and Donovan Trumbull will be our second game. Kearney and Elkhorn North, our third game at 1:20. Grand Island Central Catholic and Shelton will take the court fourth and be our middle. And then Sydney Hastings, 5th game of the day, Osceola and St. Cecilia. And then to round it out, Amherst and Adams Central at 8 o'clock. All those games right here for you guys. You don't have to pay any more money. You guys get to watch it. It'll be great free. It'll be, well, I shouldn't say free, but it'll be great basketball for you guys to watch all day.
And there's a couple really big matchups. You know, you get to see teams from different classes playing each other. And, again, that's always the beauty of this. You get to see teams who wouldn't normally play.
Shaw attacks a deal right there. Not able to find the basket, but, I mean, I like that approach, trying to see if you can get a deal, another foul, try to get him out of the equation for the Kearney Catholic Stars. Shot up by Axman, doesn't go in. Cougars rebound.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Shaw attacking, and that's what Sandy Creek needs to do a little more is attack the paint. Shaw not the biggest guy, but still trying to go into the paint.
I mean, he may not be like the biggest guy, but he'll try to be. I mean, that's the inside fight. And there's Pavani. He puts up 3, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game 1 minute into the second quarter.
Well, after Shaw scored the first 5, they've finally gotten 5 points from other players, and I think that's been the key for them to trim down this lead as they gotten other players involved.
That's going to be key for the Cougars. Driving in is Axman, and Lawley picks up the ball off the block. Lawley moves it right to Pavalny. Trying to get Shaw open. He is open at the top. He shoots the 3. Not going to go in. Rebounded by the Stars.
Shaw's not going to get a whole lot of open looks like that tonight or this morning, so it's going to be rare when he gets those, and so he's got to be able to take advantage.
Yeah, the defender kind of tripped over himself out, and then Shaw found himself wide open, took the 3, didn't quite fall, but those shots are going to be important to land if you're going to win this game. Hoagland top the key, moves it left. Now Axman, he drives in, kicks out to Deal. He's going to drive and kick. Lots of drives and kicks from the Stars, and that shot from Hoagland is not going to go in.
And they both play similar where they try to drive into the paint and then kick it out, try to find an open shot because, again, these are two teams that live behind the three-point arc, and so that's what you're going to see.
I mean, as you say it, Lawley throws one up. He bricks that one off the rim, and the Stars are going to take back the ball. Haven't found the bucket so far to start the quarter. We're 2.5 minutes in. They're looking to change that. Ball moves to Deal on the right side. Moves it back left to Murphy. And it's going to be driven in by Axman, kicked out. Both teams, lots of fouls to start the game. 3 fouls for Sandy Creek, 4 fouls for Kearney Catholic. And there's Axman. He puts up the 3.
Nice job by Axman. Again, moving the ball, finding the open shot. That's the key to success for any basketball team. But credit the Sandy Creek fans. Early game, and they're making some noise.
Ball kicked out to Jack Clark, who throws up a 3. It's not good. Rebound by the Stars after a tough battle. And the Stars are up 4 and are in business here. Ball moves left to Murphy. A Deal now up top to Hoagland. Driving in was Christner, and now ball finds its way back to Christner off the pass from Murphy. Moving it right, nearly goes out of bounds, saved by Christner, but Sandy Creek takes up the ball. It's Mason Shaw, and that's going to be no good. Excuse me, Ethan Shaw.
That was nice defense, though, by a Deal, getting back after the fast break.
Murphy puts up the shot, no good. Creek rebounds. 4 minutes to go here in the first half from Hastings, Nebraska, and the first of 7 games in the Holiday Hoops Classic. It's Pavani on the left side, moves it up right. Now it's going to be Clark with the ball, moves it to Lally. Hanging on the left side is Shaw. He drives in on Murphy, not going to get a foul call, and the bucket's not going to go either. Murphy finds a wide open lane, and it took a little bit, but the Cougars finally decide to defend it as Hoagland drives in, and he's going to find the bucket.
I mentioned Hoagland was probably going to be a big key with his size, being one of the taller guys on the floor, and he did a nice job driving into the lane that time. And those are shots I think Kearney Catholic's going to have to take more of because they've been moving the ball around, taking some threes. Not all of them have fallen, obviously. 16 points so far for them with 3:37 remaining in the first half. But if they can take advantage of the height advantage with Hoagland in the paint, I think that'll be key. And then on the other end for Sandy Creek, they got to find something in the post. Again, they don't have kind of the biggest players height-wise, but they got to attack. We saw Shaw, just get to the free throw line. You don't necessarily need to get the bucket to go every time, but if you just be physical, go up, get fouls, and knock down your free throws, you can get some momentum moving offensively.
Yeah, like you mentioned it, like Kearney Catholic is a little bit bigger, can be a little bit more physical, but they've chosen not to take that approach so far. They finally did that with Hoagland this last possession before they took a timeout, and now Sandy Creek with the ball. as I think they're going to, well, they're just going to give a Band-Aid for Murphy there on the Stars bench. Driving was Pavani. Timeout called by Sandy Creek, and it's 10-16, the Stars lead. I mean, both teams playing to their own style. I think it's due for a couple of adjustments here from Sandy Creek, though.
Yeah, and Sandy Creek has had some trouble with the press that Kearney Catholic has put up, and so that's why we saw a timeout there from Cole Wiseman, just trying to, slow things down for his team. Tell him, how you can get past that full court press, because Kearney Catholic has been doing a fantastic job defensively up to this point. They've been guarding the paint well, haven't been really letting them kick and drive like they want to and find open looks from three. And then that full court press, they don't use it every possession, but the possessions they do, so far it's been effective. Obviously it has, because timeout came from Sandy Creek to try to figure things out.
Yeah, the defense from the Stars has been quite impressive. It's held the Cougars down to 10 points. They're just trying to find a rhythm, and they haven't been able to.
And that'll be the key. And again, they're not a very tall team, and I think that's kind of hurting them right now. Kearney Catholic isn't the tallest either, but they have a couple inches height advantage.
It's Lawley at the top of the key with 3:15 to go in the first half. Pavani now right side, moves it left. Bell will swing over to Clark. Clark trying to figure out what to do. Ethan Shaw, I'm not sure why I keep trying to go with Mason Shaw, but Shaw was trying to get that post up, unable to get the ball in there, but Pavani, he drives in, misses a shot, rebounds it, misses it again, before eventually Owen Oglesby will get the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Those are two shots I think Pavani is going to want back, though. He does a nice job being physical, getting the offensive rebound, but just not able to get the shots to fall. Luckily, though, got some help from Oglesby, who's now, again, physical, get to the line and knock down your free throws.
That first free throw is good. Foul was on Jacob Isaacson, his first, as Oglesby will put in that first free throw, and they're going to inch in within 5. Second is up and off the brick, and Kearney Catholic rebounds with under 3 minutes to go. Ball moves right back up top to Hoagland. I think the key is trying to get Hoagland into the paint a little bit more, or they could just drive it themselves, and the ball will go out on the Cougars.
Yeah, I think the referee on the baseline originally pointed towards Sandy Creek, wasn't quite able to tell who had went off of it first, but then got his help from the other officials saying that one was in fact off of the Cougars. That's a nice job by the officials working together to make sure they get the call right.
That play looked like it was designed for an Adil 3, because he moved quite quickly, but Sandy Creek was right there.
Well, yeah, you feel like if Kearney Catholic's able to knock down a couple threes here to end off the first half and get kind of a lead, feel pretty good about themselves headed into the halftime break. They lead by 5 right now, but it's been an ugly contest so far.
Hoagland up top, he's stuffed by Pavani, and Sandy Creek takes the ball away. Lawley up top, moves it right. Cougars trying to find that offense. Only 11 points so far in this game. Shaw finds his way with the ball, moves it right again. Not much attacking the hoop this possession, and I think that's hurting them a little bit. A lot of passing and cutting, but not a lot of attacking.
And you see they're moving around, trying to find something inside, setting some screens, but Kearney Catholic's doing a nice job reading what they're trying to do.
Pavani's been that one who's been attacking. They have Oglesby on the inside. He finally moves out. And so there's been a mix of like 2 to 3 people in that paint at one time, and it's kind of congested up in there. Pavani rips up a 3. It's going to be no good. Rebound by Hoagland, and the Stars take back over.
And that was good ball movement. Pavani had an open look, but Kearney Catholic hasn't been giving them a lot of open looks, so the ones they get, they have to take advantage of.
Adil's going to take that 3, barely open, rebounded by Rogash, and his shot isn't good either. And Sandy Creek rebounds, timeout, Cougars. And we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back to finish up the first half here from Hastings. Back here at Lynn Farrell Arena, Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis. First of 7 games in the Holiday Hoops Classic today for you guys on Strive TV. 1:16 to go in the first half of our first game between Kearney Catholic and Sandy Creek. Up next will be Minden and Doniphan Trumbull. John, what have you seen so far?
I think that Minden-Doniphan Trumbull game, I think that'll be one of the better games of the day. A C1 versus C2 matchup. Minden off to a 3-2 start. Doniphan Trumbull obviously has consistently been a really solid team. They're 6-0 so far in the season, so that'll be a fun matchup for our only the second game of the day, and we got a bunch more after that.
Yeah, it'll be only my second game, and then I got to drive back to Columbus. But man, it's gonna be a fun day here. You get all 7 games. I mean, aren't you gonna be tired by the end of this?
I think so, but it's gonna be worth it. There's some high quality basketball games, and I mentioned in the pregame, these teams are gonna be able to find out early in the season kind of where they fit in the puzzle of their class this season.
50 seconds to go in the first half. Creek with the ball. Not really finding any avenues with the ball. Eventually, they usually get an open shot. There's going to be a travel from Polvani, as he's been trying to make stuff happen, but just hasn't been able to result in baskets.
Yeah, I know he's made some mistakes, but I've been impressed with what he's trying to do. Again, we mentioned they need to find some help in the paint and in the post, and we haven't seen a whole lot of players attacking, but he has consistently.
30 seconds left to deal. Top key. Moves it left to Christner. Hoagland on the inside. He's doubled up along the baseline. They're going to throw up that ball. And it's going to be an over the back on Kearney Catholic, trying to prevent that layup.
Yeah, he was falling out of bounds, and so he had to try to heave it back inside. Just threw it a little too far. But I think getting the backcourt violation was much better than letting Sandy Creek pick it up on a fast break. So a nice heads-up play that time by Christner.
For sure. Now Sandy Creek's going to hold for one last play here with 10 seconds to go. Moves it left, Polvani. They're going to keep it left. Moves it back right with Shaw. Shaw drives in out to Polvani. He's going to rip up a 3, and it's going to be no good. We're going to go to the break with Kearney Catholic leading Sandy Creek 16-11.
By having good sportsmanship, we recognize the hard work and commitment of all teams participating. How we act when we compete also shows who we are as people.
Sportsmanship is going the extra mile to earn the respect of everyone in attendance.
Sportsmanship shouldn't just be on the court, it should also be in the stands and everywhere you go.
Good sportsmanship makes competing in any event more fun, but it comes from more than just the athlete. It comes from parents and coaches too.
Midland's mission is to inspire people to learn and lead in the world with purpose.
New Strive School. Join a community of educators and students. Get access to support, resources, and education. Your fans watch for free, and there's even a new revenue opportunity for your school. Contact sales at strive.tv to sign up your school to become a Strive School.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
This Strive Sports production is brought to you by Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning, Rivals Sports Bar and Grill, and by Pinnacle Bank. We couldn't do it without your support. Halftime of Game 1 of the Heartland Hoops Holiday Classic. It is Kearney Catholic 16 and Sandy Creek 11. Thanks for joining us today on Strive TV and a Strive Sports production, a joint venture between Strive and the Heartland Hoops organizers, Tino and Aaron Martinez, who have organized this event for the last number of years. Of course, the big event is the one we always do in February. We've done for the last couple of years now at the Heartland Event Center. And a couple of games going on Friday night, even again this year. 4 national teams, all ranked in the top 25 by ESPN.com. You're going to see multiple Division I basketball players in that Heartland Hoops Classic, February 10th and 11th. The 10th games, there's 2 that night. Sunrise Christian Academy, number 1 in the country last year. Grady Dick, we saw him for the last couple of years. He's now rocking it at Kansas, right? You see guys like that play on Friday night at Grand Island Central Catholic. So we'll talk in with Ryan Smith and his Strive crew about the exciting things that we can do with that one. And then we like the big day the next day, all day on Saturday. We start up early in the morning, 8 games going on throughout the day. Teams from all across Nebraska. The matchups similar to this, the matchups that you wouldn't normally see. Sandy Creek, Kearney Catholic, they don't normally play in the regular course of a season or even at a state tournament. So this is a fun event, and it's a spin-off of the big event. But that full day on Saturday, the 11th, is an awesome time for us. We get a few extra toys for that one. Hopefully John can make it back. Hopefully Elijah can make it. We'll see. And Mason and Hoosier, and we even get Rambo out for that one. And if you've watched our broadcast of those Heartland Hoops Classics for the last couple years, our director, Roger Harpster, comes out of Omaha with a number of years of experience and really puts a different kind of feel from a broadcast. It might not necessarily look a lot different, but hopefully it feels a little bit more like you would, like the, it's kind of a next level broadcast for us. So that's what we like to do when it comes time for the Heartland Hoops Classic there in February. This is the holiday edition. We love starting it with a red and a green team. Sandy Creek 11, Kearney Catholic 16. We'll get it back to Elijah and John in just a little bit for second half action from the Holiday Hoops Classic.
Welcome back to Lynn Farrell Arena. Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis. First of 7 games for you guys in the Holiday Hoops Classic. First one, we started off with Kearney Catholic and the Stars and Sandy Creek and the Cougars. Stars currently lead 5 at the break. John, what was your analysis of that first half?
Well, it was a very defensive first half. The fouls kind of slowed down in the second quarter. Both teams with 3 in the first quarter. But then in the second half, I think it was Kearney Catholic with 5. Sandy Creek with 4. So they were able to clean that up a little bit fouls-wise, but it's been a very physical contest so far between these two teams. Not a whole lot of scoring going on, but it's kind of what you expect with these two teams that are both averaging 38 points per game. Taking a look at the first half numbers for Kearney Catholic, they're led by Landon Adil with 6 points. Owen Axman has 5, 3 points for Brent Christner. Quentin Hoagland has 2. And then on the other end for Sandy Creek, Ethan Shaw scored the first 5 points, but then since then he's gone a little quiet. 3 points for Povolny. Drake Lawley has 2 points, and Owen Oglesby with 1 point at the free throw line. So a very defensive game, and it'll probably continue that way in the second half.
Yeah, it's a close game here at the half. We'll see what happens in the second half. We're going to take a quick break before the second half begins on Strive TV.
Truck Center Companies, keeping America's truck industry on the road.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
Go get it, Zach!
We're ready for the second half of basketball action in our first of 7 games today. Elijah Moser alongside John Willis. Kearney Catholic picks up the ball. John, what are the keys for Kearney Catholic really to get going as Adil misses a 3?
Well, I thought when they had Hoagland work in the paint, they did a really nice job. Only 2 points for him. I think if they can get him going a little bit more, that's going to work offensively for them. And then for Sandy Creek, you got to find something in the post. Pavani was really the only one who really drove into the paint consistently, and they need to do that more in the second half.
Early foul here, 30 seconds into that half from Kearney Catholic. It's going to be on Owen Axman, his second.
Again, mentioned it, lots of fouls in the first half, especially in the first quarter. They kind of slowed down in the second quarter, but not even a minute into the game we see, or into the third quarter we see a foul and then a turnover.
And you look at it now, both teams looking for their third win of the season, inching closer to 500. They both had a little bit of a rocky start, but have found more of a drive here more of recently and are trying to keep that up.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Both teams have won 2 of their last 3 after starting the year rough.
Owen Axman puts up a 3. That's his 8th point of the game, and he has the Stars up by 8.
Again, they're not just getting it done with Adil. Owen Axman, 8 points you mentioned. He's doing a nice job getting going offensively.
Axman's going to be huge for them, but he also has 2 fouls, so he's got to watch it a little bit. They don't want him to get into foul trouble. Lawley attacks, going to be off the backboard and rebound by Adil.
Again, he did a nice job getting physical in the post. I thought he had a good look at it, just threw it a little too hard off the back of the glass. It's early in the morning, maybe some jitters, but Sandy Creek has missed some shots that they probably usually knock down.
You mentioned early in the morning, I'm like, I was up till 3 working on my notes. I woke up at 6. Bucket from Axman puts him up to 10. Woke up at 6, drove here from Columbus, going to drive back after the second game. Oh, I'm different kind of tired.
But, no, Axman doing a nice job. First player in the contest to get to double digits.
Clark was a little bit trapped there by the half-court line, eventually breaks out of it. Cougars with the ball with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, down 10, as Kearney Catholic's really turned up the heat to start. And timeout, Sandy Creek, as I think Coach Cole Wiseman wants to try to figure out what the issue is, try to see if they can make adjustments, because obviously Kearney Catholic's adjustments are working.
Yeah, a little 5-0 run to start out the second half. It's a nice start for them.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back. 5:54 to go in the third quarter. Stars leading Cougars 21-11.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
Welcome back to Hastings, Nebraska. Kearney Catholic and the Stars have increased their halftime lead over Sandy Creek to 10. Let's look at the schedule for today's events. The Heartland Holiday Hoops Classic. This is our first of 7 games. Following this game will be Minden and Donovan Trumbull. Kearney and Elkhorn North will follow, followed by Grand Island Central Catholic and Shelton. Then Sydney and Hastings will take the court, followed by our last two games, Osceola and Hastings St. Cecilia, and the nightcap is Amherst and Adams Central. Back into this one, Sandy Creek, top of the key, Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis with you guys. And I hope you guys are all having a fantastic morning, enjoying some basketball with your brunch. Sean puts up the basket, and it's good. His first point since early first quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned he scored the first 5 points for his team, but hasn't scored since. Now he's up to 7. They're going to need to get him going again if they want to find some offense, because things just aren't working for them right now offensively.
Adil now left side, drives inside. He's going to put the shot, going to be no good, but great attack there from the Stars.
Yeah, they're attacking well, and I think they've been improving from the first to the second half, and how physical they're wanting to be in the low post. And you know, again, these are usually shots that teams of this caliber would make, and they've been missing some ones that, again, feel like you normally would get.
I mean, I think part of that has to do with you're playing the game at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure you're quite used to that. I mean, usually you'll play a game 3, 5, 7, but 10 is probably a little early for these guys.
Yeah, it's definitely probably an adjustment for both these teams. Getting to play at a bigger venue as well always gets the nerves flowing a little bit.
And there's Polvani wide open on the backside, and he is up to 5 points on the game, and they're within 6 of the Stars.
Again, when they've done it, it works well. Attack and get a shot in the on the left block. They need to continue to attack the paint.
That was a good time out there from Sandy Creek. Good adjustments made once again, and they found a little bit of offense. Let's see if they can keep it up. They've matched their second quarter total already, not even halfway into the third quarter. Foul is going to be on number 31, Drake Lawley, his second. And the Stars are going to make a couple substitutions, get O'Brien and Isaacson back in. And 4:22 to go, up 6. Lob it up to Hoagland. He can't find an avenue with it. Moves it to O'Brien. Back up top to Adil, who drives again. He's done a lot of this quarter. And there's O'Brien for 3. He gets it long, and Sandy Creek rebounds.
Yeah, Caleb O'Brien had a good look at it. They moved the ball well in the right corner, but just a little too much on it that time.
Top the key is Shaw. Moves it to Polvani. They're two biggest players so far in the game that have been trying to make stuff happen. Shaw now takes the 3. It's going to be good. He swishes that one all day.
Second player to get to double figures, first on his team, Ethan Shaw. After scoring 5 in the first half, has 5 here in the third quarter. Sandy Creek getting right back into it.
7-0 run from the Cougars. Inside to Axman. That shot's going to be no good. Nearly out of bounds off Kearney Catholic. Not sure how he managed to keep that in bounds. But the Cougars are running it on the Stars right now.
Yeah, it feels like they got all the momentum. They got to carry it on.
And it's going to be Axman fouled on his way up to the bucket with 3:16 to go in the third quarter. And look on who it's on. It's going to be on Polvani, his first. And so going to the free throw line, charity stripe, whatever you call it, is Owen Axman, who has 10 of his own so far.
That's going to be an underappreciated play down the stretch, though. Sandy Creek gets a couple buckets, cut the lead to 3. And instead of, making a mistake, Axman just says, I'm going to take it myself, get a foul, go to the free throw line, and kind of not stop the momentum for Sandy Creek, but just put a halt on it for a little bit.
They had stuttered that momentum. They had a 7-0 run, which, you think about it, that's pretty impressive for Sandy Creek, considering what they've been going against in this Kearney Catholic defense, where they got only 11 points in the first half, and they already put up 7 halfway through the first.
And so now for Kearney Catholic, you felt good about where you were because, they were struggling offensively, but now that they're picking it up, they have to find something offensively because they haven't necessarily been shooting the lights out themselves from the floor.
Lawley up top, moves it left, a shot inside to Polvani. He's wide open again, misses that shot. His second attempt no good either, but he gets the rebound again. Impressive playing from Polvani. Just wishes he'd knocked down those jumpers.
Yeah, we saw a play like that in the first half where he missed 2 straight as well. But, you know, he's not going to shoot a lot. He's not going to knock a whole lot of them down. But, man, he plays physical and he plays tough. And that's a very big part of this game for Sandy Creek.
The difference between the first and the second half, though, was that he got the rebound the third time, and this time it leads to a Ethan Shaw three-pointer, his second of the half, and he's up to 13 points.
Coming alive here in the third. He scored 8 in the third quarter for Sandy Creek, now up to 13 on the contest.
Ideal up top, moves it left, and all of a sudden the Cougars are in striking distance within 2 points. Kearney Catholic's offense is stuttering, trying to figure out what to do. Driving in was Isaacson, and now O'Brien. A couple guys we didn't talk about a lot in that first half, and now Creek will rebound that ball.
But again, Sandy Creek has had times where they've, the first half they were able to cut it too, but they couldn't get that one bucket to tie or take the lead. Can they do that here?
Finds Lawley at the elbow. He jumps back, fade away, no good, rebounded by Adil.
It was a nice step back. He had a good look at it, just left it a little short off the front of the rim.
Adil, nearly a charge. If you take that, I bet that goes the other way 99% of the time.
It's a nice job by Adil, though. We mentioned it. Sandy Creek is getting some momentum, but what does Kearney Catholic do each time? They just go into the post, throw up a shot, hope you get a foul, and that's smart basketball right there because, again, it kind of, lets everybody breathe, lets everybody settle after Sandy Creek was kind of running and gunning.
The first time it was Axman, but the second time it's Adil who finds his way into the free throw line, unable to knock down the first, trying to extend it to a three-point lead with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. He will.
And Adil started out the game hot. He scored a lot early, but only up to 7 points. He's kind of cooled off a little bit. We'll see if he can get going like Ethan Shaw has been after Shaw kind of struggled in the second quarter.
He's right around pace for his average points per game. He averages 11, leads the team. And so just expect a little bit more, though, in this type of a game where you are needing those buckets. Foul's going to be called on Kearney Catholic. Lawley was driving to the hoop, about to kick it out.
Yeah, and they would have had a pretty good look, too, if a reach-in foul wasn't called. But, that you're not going to complain about the foul because it continues to not put Kearney Catholic in trouble, but continue to work those foul numbers up.
Lawley in the post. He gets us a 1 point game. It's his 4th point of the game. And it's a 1 point ball game.
That was a great inbound possession. Sandy Creek moved the ball extremely well out of the baseline.
Hogan with the ball on the left side, under a minute to go in the quarter. Up top is Axman. Moves it left again to Christner. Christner on the drive. Kicks back out to and there's Ogelman. And there's going to be a blocking foul. Count the bucket.
That's one of those 50-50 ones. You never know what direction they might call that because it was a nice job taking the charge. But that one, again, 50-50, I'd say. I mean, I feel like it goes 50-50 100% of the time. That's never a call that's going to be made 100% one way or the other.
That was Caden Clark's 3rd foul of the game. But you mentioned that, and I think it more has to do with how the ref is feeling and what kind of mood he is in. Like, whether it's like, oh, I want this to be a charge so bad, or I want this to be a block. I feel like that's half the time what those kind of plays are. Free throws no good, still 3-point game. Under 40 seconds to go. Shaw gets it past the half-court line. Now Polvani facing this tough Stars defense that's in a zone coverage right now. Polvani moves it left to Lawley. Thing about a zone coverage is it kind of protects that inside, which they've struggled at this quarter, surprisingly. But it opens up that three if they can get inside and kick out.
And they're bringing the double on Shaw as well because Shaw's been so productive in the second half so far for Sandy Creek, and he does a nice job holding on for dear life and getting the foul.
O'Brien's going to be called for the foul, and Kearney Catholic and Sandy Creek each have 4 fouls this quarter. Going to be important to watch as we get into the 4th quarter because you don't want to get your opponent to the free throw line too many times. You don't want give them those 3 points. 5 seconds to go. Polvani up top. He drives. He throws up a layup. Impressive drive to end the quarter and move it within 1. We're going to take a quick break. But Kearney Catholic leads Sandy Creek 26-25. Cougars are coming back and are on a roll.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
This Strive Sports production is brought to you by Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning, Rivals Sports Bar and Grill, and by Pinnacle Bank. We couldn't do it without your support.
All right, now I'm live. Okay. Sorry, I tried to go back to the intro. We weren't quite ready yet. Anyway, welcome back to Hastings, Nebraska and Hastings College and Lynn Farrell Arena. Kearney Catholic currently leading the Sandy Creek Cougars 26-25 as we enter the fourth quarter of play. Sandy Creek with a bunch of points. I think they had 14 of them that last quarter. Elijah Mosher alongside John Willis. What did you really see that third quarter, John?
It was Ethan Shaw. I mean, he had 8 of the 14 for his team in the quarter. Really helped. And we saw that in the first quarter when Sandy Creek was going toe-to-toe with Kearney Catholic. 5 first-quarter points for Shaw then, 8 third-quarter points. But he's going to have to continue to get buckets here in the fourth if they want to take the lead and win this one.
Sandy Creek on the left side. Finds Lolly up top. Trying to find that go-ahead bucket. They haven't led for quite some time in this game. Up top now, moves it, lets it Polvani. Shaw moving underneath. He's been double-teamed quite a bit recently. Open player is Jack Clark, who throws up a 3, no good, rebounded by Adil.
That's a really good find over on the right wing with Clark. Just he had the open look, and we've seen tonight Sandy Creek has missed some shots that they've had open.
Up top is Hogelman. Now driving in is Murphy. Kick out to Hoagland. Axman now driving in, been a big player for the Stars. And there's going to be a foul on Kearney Catholic on the rebound. And it's going to be on Carson Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy just kind of came flying out of nowhere and got Shaw in the back, trying to fight for the rebound. But I think sometimes you just got to acknowledge that you're probably not going to get the ball.
Sometimes you got to let it go. I mean, now they're up to 5 team fouls in a 1-point game in the fourth quarter. You don't want to get Sandy Creek into the bonus too quickly. Now Polvani left side moves it up. And it's Peter with the ball up top. We haven't mentioned his name hardly at all either. Lolly now drives left, gives it to Shaw. Shaw trying to find an open avenue. There's Peter. And out to Polvani. Polvani trying to figure out where to go with it. He drives in, kicks out. Moves it to Lolly. Lolly back out. Now it's Clark with the ball. Cougars all of a sudden can't find much on the offensive side of things against this Kearney Catholic man coverage.
Yeah, they're pressing a little bit more on the shooters as Polvani with another nice play.
Polvani gets the and 1, gets him up to 9 points, gives the Cougars a lead, and he's going to go line and try to increase that lead to 2.
Coming off the bench, he's probably the player I've been most impressed with. Again, he's missed some shots, but he is playing extremely physical. He's doing what the Cougars needed to do, and that's get tough in the paint. And he just plays with his hair on fire. He's doing a nice job.
Yeah, you just mentioned he came off the bench. I didn't even realize that till just now. Like, I thought he'd been starting the whole game. He's been playing that good. Sandy Creek now up to a 2-point lead, 6 minutes to go. Stars need to find that offense between Axman and Adil. They're going to get into Hogelman, and that's going to be a foul on Sandy Creek.
And you mentioned it, foul numbers going up for both teams. Cougars getting close to the bonus. Stars a couple more, and they'll get in the bonus. So both these teams this could be decided by free throws down the stretch as well.
Ball's up top with Christner, moves right side. And it's going to be deflected off Shaw, and it's going to stay with the Stars. Stars rocking those green uniforms. Sandy Creek in the whites. as the designated home team wears. And now we move out here with Axman to Murphy up top. Murphy swings left to Christner. Axman was open for a time there up top. Kind of lost his angle on a 3. And now Hogelman gets Axman that open 3 look in the corner. That's going to be no good, but rebound by Christner. Out of bounds, though, Sandy Creek ball.
Well, it was almost really good for Kearney Catholic. You know, you missed the shot, but you get the offensive board, and offensive board numbers have been something to watch as well. Pavani has a good amount of them for Sandy Creek. Kearney Catholic's been able to get a couple, but unfortunately just mistake not seeing where that out-of-bounds line was.
Yeah, those second chance points are huge. And now Pavani left side, he's been instrumental in Sandy Creek's comeback in this game. Sean now up top, the second proponent of that comeback. And he's trying to find that open spot, goes out the Lawley screen, drives in, takes the shot on a straight-up Hogelman, and it's going to be rebounded by Kearney Catholic. Murphy screaming up the top. He's going to get fouled. He was flying off that court.
I wonder if Carson Murphy runs track, because if not, he'd probably be a pretty good track runner, especially probably short distance. He was sprinting up the court, outrunning all of the Cougar defense. Mason
Peter picks up his second foul in the last minute, and it'll be Carson Murphy at the line. No points so far today, and it's going to stay that way after the first free throw. His team down 2 with exactly 5 minutes to go.
Kearney Catholic has struggled to find things offensively, not just in this quarter, but throughout the entire second half so far.
Another thing to watch are the timeouts as Murphy gets on the board with a point there. As Kearney Catholic takes a timeout, so 5 minutes to go. Both teams have only 2 timeouts left in a 1-point game. That's as huge as both teams being at 16 fouls. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here for the remainder of the fourth quarter.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
Become a new Strive school. Join a community of educators and students. Get access to support, resources, and education. Your fans watch for free, and there's even a new revenue opportunity for your school. Contact sales at strive.tv to sign up your school to become a Strive school.
Back here at Lynn Farrell Arena, we're in for a good finish with 5 minutes to go. Sandy Creek up 28-27 over Kearney Catholic in the first of 7 amazing games in the Holiday Hoops Classic from Hastings College today. On Strive TV, I'm Elijah Mosier alongside John Willis. John, have you been impressed with what we've seen?
Yeah, they're both playing very good defense, and Sandy Creek is finally finding some things offensively. You know, maybe the nerves are starting to go down, getting a little more awake as this game continues on, but they've been able to find some things.
John drives, kick. Shaw drives, and then kicks out to Pavani, now moves right side. And it's Clark on the right side, going to be fouled by Murphy, and now that moves it into the 1-and-1 for Sandy Creek. That's quite huge as Murphy picks up his second foul.
Yeah, that's 4:24 now that they're going to get free throws. And I didn't like the foul by Carson Murphy. I get wanting to be physical, but also you have to understand where your team's at in the game right now with now 7 fouls. So now we'll see if they can take advantage.
Clark's first free throw is no good on the 1-and-1, but rebound by Sandy Creek. And so basically you get the exact situation as if there was no foul. Now moving left, Peter to Polvani. Trying to find an open player, and Solali up top. Out to Shaw, guarded by Adil. Moving left, Clark. He finds a gap, kicks out. So nice drive and kick, good movement. And they don't have to really do a whole lot. I mean, they can waste some of this time. There's no shot clock.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, and it's smart. You know, limit the possessions as you can here for Sandy Creek.
Don't want to let Kearney Catholic get hot. Lawley's shot no good. Nearly another offensive rebound. Nearly ties them up, too. And Kearney Catholic eventually comes away with the ball. Adil top the key, moves it right. Left side, Adil wanted to pull the trigger. He eventually does from quite a distance, and it's going to be just short. Drive in by Hogelman. That's going to be no good off the rim. Couple of big shots that don't fall for Kearney Catholic, down 1. Adil nearly lets it fly again, but thought better of it. And now it's all the way on the right side with 3 minutes to go. Murphy, pass is stolen by by Lawley. He read it like a children's book and puts it in for 2.
It's a nice job by Drake Lawley. All the momentum with Sandy Creek right now. You hear the fans getting loud, and he's able to get the big turnover. And finally they convert on a fast break. They've struggled with that today.
I really hope Ethan McCormick was watching that. He'd be so proud. All right, drive in there by Christner. Kicks out to Adil, who puts up a 3. No good. Very close to going in, though. And there's going to be a foul on Sandy Creek, and now the Stars are going to line for the last 2:27 of this game.
The offensive rebounds, these last couple possessions have been huge for Kearney Catholic because it's given them an extra couple possessions. Obviously, they haven't really been able to take advantage of it, but it's keeping them in the game at this point.
Owen Axman at the line. He's put up quite a bit of points so far today. It's his 3rd free throw, and he's up to 13 points on the game.
Yeah, nice performance from him. Leads the team. Next highest with Adil has 7. Been a struggle offensively for Kearney Catholic.
Axman draws it within 1 as he hits his 2nd free throw on the 1-and-1. Lally up top. Here's why I think that that's going to be a steal here from Axman. He's not going to let me get to my point. Axman's shot's no good. He rebounds it. No good again. And eventually Shaw comes up with the ball for Sandy Creek. But here's where I'm thinking they're doing the shot clock for Class A this year. Maybe it moves into all the other classes next year.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think, kind of experimenting with it this year with Class A, seeing how it would work. But there's a lot that would go into that for all the classes to have the shot clock. But it's just different approaches for the teams. You see in practice, these teams will talk about it differently. Talking with Drake Baranek of Kearney High, he said it's been a challenge kind of adapting to the shot clock now in practice to practice with that. And, for these smaller schools especially, would they have the technology to be able to handle that, out in western Nebraska. But, I think it'll be fun to see how it works with Class A this year. We saw it a couple times last year at some events with, many different schools coming in. Metro, I know, did it last year. And so I think there's positives and negatives to both sides. But in the case of these two teams, now for Sandy Creek, this is something you talk about in practice. You hold the ball for as long as possible. Basically play hot potato with you and your teammates passing the ball around and see how much time you can take off the clock and limit the amount of possessions Kearney Catholic and the amount of chances they're going to have.
Yeah, and be aware you only have 1 timeout too, so use it wisely. Kearney Catholic has 2. And also for both these teams, they're in the bonus. So try not to be too aggressive on defense and try to be aggressive on offense. It is the key to the game right here.
Yeah, and Kearney Catholic shouldn't foul right away. They should see if they can force a turnover, but if it gets to long enough, 30, 35 seconds, then you got to start fouling.
It's a 1-point game. I mean, you can hold this for quite a time without fouling, but there's going to be Murphy fouling, and he's going to get Sandy Creek to the line.
So he waited more like 15, 20 seconds, but that was smart. You wait at least a couple seconds, see if, they're being a little sloppy with the ball, see if you can force a turnover. They weren't able to, so now you send him to the line. And, worst case scenario, he knocks down both, and it's a 3-point game. That's still 1 possession.
First free throw is good from Caden Clark, his first point of the day. That was Murphy's 3rd foul of the game. So that's going to be something to watch here as we get into a little bit more of the foul zone. Second free throw is also good, and the Cougars are now at 3.
But again, still a 1-possession game, so that doesn't necessarily hurt you. But now, the broadcasters that I've heard on TV like to say get a quick 2. No, you want to try to tie the game here and get a 3.
I'd say as long as you get points, I think you're fine. But you don't want to give them another chance. Adil puts up 2, his first field goal in quite some time, and he's up to 9 points on the game.
A little underhand teardropper. That was a really nice shot by Adil. Would have liked to see more from that from Kearney Catholic throughout the game.
Shaw drives through and breaks that press, and it looks like they're going to foul Clark, and he's going to go back to the line.
Well, Clark so far 2 for 2 on his last trip, and he'll try to keep it going here.
Fouls on Murphy. That's his 4th. So once again, something to watch. It's going to be Keaton Clark back at the line.
Clark on the season mentioned coming into the contest was 5 for 7. He's 2 for 4 so far today. He missed the first 2 in the first half, but then made the last 2.
Free throw is going to be good. Increases that lead back up to 2 against a Stars team that is looking to keep their record alive against Sandy Creek. Because according to as far back as Max Preps goes, Kearney Catholic is 7-0 against Sandy Creek, as that second free throw is no good. Up top is Adil with the ball. Just over a minute left. He gets the ball again. He drives in, looking for the tie. No good. He's going to get fouled, though. Late foul call, but he's going to get a line and shoot 2.
Yeah, you mentioned it. That was kind of a late whistle, as you saw that Owen Axman had picked up the ball by the time they had blown the whistle, but now Adil has a chance to tie it at the free throw line.
So now Adil is going to go to the line. They're just double checking that number. It's going to be on Jacob Peter, his 4th, so he's 1 away from fouling out. As it's going to be Landon Adil, the 6-foot senior, trying to tie up this game for the Stars. First free throw is good.
And Adil, again, we mentioned he struggled offensively, here in the second half, but, he can kind of all redeem it here if he can tie this one up.
He's now to double digits at 10. Make that 11 as we got ourselves a tie ball game with just over a minute left. Keep in mind those timeouts. Keep in mind those fouls. 1 timeout for each. 18 fouls for Sandy Creek and 9 for Kearney Catholic. So next foul by the Stars will put the Cougars at the line with a double bonus.
Kearney Catholic's got to be careful, too. They're being very aggressive. You do not want to commit a foul and let Sandy Creek try to take the lead at the free throw line.
Especially in a game where both offenses have struggled a little bit, to say the least. They don't score the ball a whole lot, and with this time left, you don't want to rely on your offense to try to get the job done. Shaw gets fouled. I don't quite agree with that call, but he's going to go line and shoot 2.
A very physical play from Hoagland, and especially, going up against the smaller Shaw. Usually going to see that foul called, and now Shaw with an opportunity to give the Cougars at the line. But that's what I mentioned. You can't foul there if you're Kearney Catholic, because it's going to send him to the line with 30 seconds left in the game.
Shot, the line misses his first. He has 13 points on the game, and now they're going to try to ice the free throw shooter as Kearney Catholic takes their second to last timeout. And I believe we're going to keep it here as we're all tied up at 33 or 32.1 seconds to go. Shaw still has 1 free throw left. But what needs to happen for Kearney Catholic?
Well, you'd prefer if he missed it here, obviously, but Ethan Shaw, usual 65% free throw shooter. He's obviously had a fantastic performance here this morning, 13 points so far for him. This is a big shot because it kind of changes the approach, I think, if he knocks it down or not. If he misses it, Kearney Catholic will most likely try to hold for the final shot. And so take 30 seconds off the clock, because if obviously you don't want to give Sandy Creek an opportunity. But then if Shaw makes this, you got to go and get a bucket as quick as possible.
Though I think if you're Kearney Catholic, even if he makes it, I think you try to waste a few seconds off that clock. I mean, don't want to score
probably
too
find
quickly.
something smart, but then you think about it. If you miss it, then you got to foul, do more free throws, and try to go back and tie it. So
it's not take the best shot; it's take the first best shot that you got. And so 1 timeout apiece as Shaw's going to go to the line here for Sandy Creek, as they only have Polvani in there on the rebound, so they're going to play it defensively. Free throw's good. Sandy Creek leads. Adil up top, 30 seconds to go. Moves it to Axman. Axman moves it right to Murphy. Murphy back left, 20 seconds to go. Corner with Axman. Adil now top left. Tries to drive, can't find anything. Adil still with the ball, 10 seconds to go. He drives in. They're gonna call a blocking foul, and Adil is gonna go to the line with 7.7 seconds remaining. What just happened, John?
Yeah, Caden Clark was throwing up his hands. He thought he might have been able to do enough to get the charge. Both players playing very physical, and again, those are those calls that could go either which way, and that one goes in the favor of the Stars.
It was a smart play by both sides. Attack the hoop. You know you only had 10 seconds left. Try to get the charge. And the first free throw is good. We got ourselves a tie game.
Yeah, with the 1-1 now, he gets one more, and this could give him the lead. And likely see a timeout here either way for Sandy Creek.
If he misses, I don't think we see a timeout, though. Adil, free throw, good. There's that timeout from Kearney Catholic, actually. That's their last timeout with 7.7. I mean, that saves Sandy Creek's timeout if they get into a little bit of a pickle here. So we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to finish this game when we get back.
Trade in that old sleigh for a new Jeep during the big finish at Tom Dinsdale CDJR in Hastings. Fill your stockings with over $9,600 in discounts and rebates when you choose a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Or select a 2022 Wagoneer Series 2 and get over $9,400 in discounts and rebates. Plus, 90 days no payments. To give your year a big finish, dash on over to Tom Dinsdale CDJR.
This Strive Sports production is brought to you by Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning, Rivals Sports Bar and Grill, and by Pinnacle Bank. We couldn't do it without your support.
Back here at Hastings College, first of 7 games here for you guys today. And we got ourselves a great one to start out. Elijah Mosier alongside John Wills. 7.7 seconds for the Sandy Creek Cougars, who are down 1 to try and get the win.
Kearney Catholic's been playing very aggressive, and they play defense, but you can't foul here.
Lolly inbounds it to Pavani. 5 seconds. And Sandy Creek's going to use their timeout with 4.5 seconds left. And they're down 1. And so we're going to keep it here. We're going to try to break it down. I think the smart play is try to get to Pavani and drive and see if you can get a foul, if not the bucket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go here. If you give it to Shaw, who's been your go-to guy all season, or Pavani, who's been playing extremely well. You don't have a lot of time to work with. I like the timeout, advance the ball past midcourt. They did a nice job getting it up the floor quickly. You feel like you could inbound, get one pass, and then probably find your shot with 4.5 seconds left in the contest. I'll be interested to see where they go, if it'll be to the reliable Shaw or if Pavani, who's had a very nice game, if they'll try to get it to him.
Well, Shaw likes that three-point ball, and that's his game as a sophomore. But Pavani, the senior, he likes to drive the ball, and with 4.5 seconds left, I don't think you find an open three against this Kearney Catholic defense, and I think you got to give it the ball to Pavani to drive in and see what he can do.
Yeah, you know that there's a play that head coach Cole Wiseman has been sitting on that he wants to use right here to give his team the victory.
He basically had 2 full timeouts to draw up this play, so he's got something, and they're going to let Shaw inbound the ball. So maybe this is a play where you pass it in and get it back to Shaw as quick as possible. Shaw finds Lolly. Lolly drives right. He doesn't have that much time. He's got to fire up a shot, and it's going to be no good as Shaw is blocked, and Kearney Catholic picks up the win. And our first matchup of the day, 35-34 over the Sandy Creek Cougars.
Yeah, that was just a mistake by Lolly, taking too much time before passing it. If anything, since he took that much time, he should have just pulled up from the right elbow. Probably would have been a better look than what Shaw had, but what an end to a really nice first defensive game between these two.
Yeah, he was decently open too. But yeah, that's going to be our first game of the day. And let's look at our second game here. I mean, Minden and Donovan Trumbull, I mean, undefeated team, and the Cardinals taking on the Whippets. I mean, it's going to be a good second game today. Kearney and Elkhorn North will be your after lunch game. And then Grand Island Central Catholic, Shelton, Sidney Hastings, Osceola St. Cecilia, and finish today with Amherst Adams Central. But I mean, we got a great slate of games, and we started the day out well with a great game with the Stars and the Cougars.
Yep, if first game is indicative of how the day is going to go, it should be a pretty nice day of basketball.
Yeah, how's your voice?
Doing fine.
Well, you got 6 more games to try and lose it. So, yeah. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to get you ready for Minden and Donovan Trumbull. But obviously, first game of the day out of the way, Kearney Catholic comes back, and it takes away the victory against Sandy Creek 35-34.